Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from SimpleProgrammer.com. So just finished my run here. I'm still in Florida. And I was thinking about something today about this idea because I was listening to this book. It's really interesting, and it's not like I can't relate to these things, but he was talking about, these common fights that people would have and like getting upset because one person didn't pay the bills, or I don't know, just these kind of random kind of stuff, like being angry at people, jealous at people, like triggering these emotional circuits of bad emotions, of anger, of resentment, of shame, of all these things. And I think I've talked about this before, but quite honestly, I don't go through any of that anymore at all, like none of it. I can't remember the last time I really got into one of those kind of patterns. And it's weird because I realized that this is a different state of being, and I used to have all these kind of, I used to always have something that I was upset about, or someone was doing me wrong and stuff like that, and I don't anymore. And I was thinking about why that is. And there's definitely a few different reasons for it, but one of the biggest reasons is what I call, I suppose I call this video Not Giving a Fuck Part 2, because this is the not giving a fuck, which is the not giving a fuck in the sense of not making a big deal out of anything. Like, it doesn't matter, like whatever happens, right? I've sort of adopted this mindset, and it's probably been maybe about 2 years ago. One of the culminations of this was that Date with Destiny, Tony Robbins event I went to. But there were a few things that led up to this, but I essentially started embracing uncertainty. And in fact, the thing that Tony had said that really solidified this in my mind is he said that the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably live with. And I realized, of course, that I was trying to eliminate all uncertainty from my life. So I really started embracing uncertainty, and I basically developed this attitude of not giving a fuck. Whatever happens. I don't actually care. It's not that I don't again, it's not being disconnected from emotion, that you don't feel emotions. You got to live. There's definitely some good books about this. I think I would say the Daring Greatly by Brene Brown is a good one about that. So you can check out that review. But the thing is, I literally do not care what the end result is going to be. I'm just willing to accept it. So if it's very difficult for someone to engage me into an anger battle, or to piss me off, or to do something that's going to emotionally disrupt me, because basically it's like this. It's like thinking of everything as not a big deal. If nothing is a big deal, right? If nothing is a big deal, then everything is good. Everything is fine, right? But I think a lot of you that are really upset about, I hear this all the time. I see these comments like, oh, I can't get a job. Oh, I don't have a girlfriend. Oh, all these things. Life is bad. It happens to me. It's always horrible. I think a lot of you that have that mindset, it's because you're putting too much emphasis. You're caring too much about, you're weighing too much on results, on things that happen, and those things don't really matter. You know what I mean? I know it seems like it matters, but you know what? Someday you'll be in the grave and you'll be dead, and none of it will matter anyway. And it's going to be a short period of time. You're not going to live here on this earth for a very long period of time. Where we all have, a short number of days. So, basically, what I say is that just stop caring so much about putting so much weight on things. There was this phrase I started using at the Entreprogrammers group when we were going through some rocky time, being an entrepreneur. It was this phrase, it's all gravy, right? And this is something that I repeat to myself a lot. It's become so ingrained in my head that I just think of it this way. It's everything. In fact, I was watching this show with my dad, this Turkish show, Ertuğrul, really cool show. Since I'm here on vacation, taking some time to watch the show. But this one guy, he was captured, and he said, what did he say? So they were torturing him or something, and Turgut, that was his name. And he said, I'm just here. My life is just borrowed from God. So he's basically saying that it doesn't really matter what you do to me. It doesn't matter what kind of pain I go through, because it's just a loan from God anyway, right? I have to give it back. So, that's the way to think about it, right? If you think about your life like that, it's just kind of a borrowed thing. Like the fact that you're here today and that you're alive and that you're able to just suck air, that's great. That's awesome. and then everything else is just kind of a bonus, right? So if you see everything as a bonus, how can you really care, if you lose something or something's taken away from you or someone's done you wrong or done something to you, right? I mean, it's not that you're never ever going to get upset about things, but it's just that you guys that are getting all whiny and shit, you're putting too much emphasis on. Like, your life will be so much better if you just have the idea, the concept of not giving a fuck. If you just say, again, it doesn't mean that you don't care about people, it doesn't mean that you don't show emotions, it doesn't mean any of those things. It just means that you literally don't give a fuck what happens, that whatever happens, it's just like watching a movie. You're just gonna enjoy it. You're just gonna consider it all gravy, right? You're not gonna put so much emphasis on it. You're not gonna get so distraught. So what? Okay, oh, your girlfriend left you. Oh, you can't get a job. Big fucking deal. Right? Is it really that big fucking a deal? It's not. It's not like it really matters, right? I mean, it's your life. You're still breathing. You're still sucking air. So, but when you make such a big deal of this stuff, that's when, you're all depressed. Oh, your life is shit, all this. It's because you're making a big deal of it. If you're like, everything just comes and goes and it's all just, whatever, it's all just gravy. And hey, if this happens, it happens. It doesn't mean that you don't try. It doesn't mean you don't strive. It doesn't mean you don't work your ass off. It just means that, again, it's a lot like trusting the process. It's disconnecting the results from the process, right? It's not caring about the outcome. It's just, as the Bhagavad Gita says, having your labor but not entitled to the fruits of your labor, right? The labor is the thing that you have. Like, you're working is what you have. So anyway, it's up to you, right? The reason why I live a very, I would say, peaceful or serene life, even though, I go through a lot of crap, I put myself through it, but ultimately, like, I don't have a lot of troubles in my life. Doesn't have what doesn't have to do with what you guys think it does. It doesn't have to do with making money and not having to work and whatever, it doesn't have to do with any of that stuff. It has everything to do with not giving a fuck, with not putting so much emphasis, not caring about the results, not making everything life or death, like minimizing as much as possible, and just not putting so much emphasis onto it, right? Again, it's very easy to do that. It's really easy to say, oh, this is so bad, this is so good, whatever it is, but when you do that, you'll trap yourself. So you got to make the decision. You just got to say, look, am I going to care about this stuff? Am I going to be distraught over this stuff, or am I just gonna say whatever happens, happens? Whatever happens, happens. It comes and goes. Easy come, easy go. Whatever happens, happens, right? And if you choose that path, you can find some kind of joy and fulfillment and tranquility in your life. But as long as you don't choose that path, and here's why: you can't ever control fate, right? You can't control fortune. You can't control what's ultimately going to happen to you in life. And so even if you get everything you want, even if you've mastered your domain environment, you've gotten that raise, you got that hot girlfriend, whatever it is, even if you get all that stuff, okay, somewhere life is going to throw a curveball. You can't control that. And so what's going to happen? It's going to wreck your shit, right? So, this is the STOIC mindset. This is this idea that, people can't wreck your shit if you don't really put too much emphasis on it, if it's all just gravy. All right, I think I've beat this horse to death, but I think this is a really, really important concept. Like I said, this is, I was thinking about this and I take it for granted now. I honestly, I don't live with strife. I don't have these kind of arguments. I don't have arguments with people. I don't have grudges. I don't have any kind of issues with people. And, it's not that my life isn't difficult, but I make it difficult for myself because that's the challenge in life. But I don't have to go through any kind of emotional bullshit because I don't let myself. So that's it's a good place. So if you want that place, this is how you do it. It's you have to let go of this stuff, let go of the importance. Hold life loosely. All right, that's all I got for you today. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Click the bell to make sure you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.